subscribe and share. Please turn off the ad block, subscribe, and share. Links will be below for anyone wanting to support this channel.
Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett and I'm the founder and owner of Tech Reviews Now, and today we're going to get into something I've done a while, which is SEO work, search engine optimization. Now you may have heard me say something about this in the past, but today we're going to get pretty deep into it, and that way you can find my secrets. Now, for those of you who don't know, I was one of the top freelance SEOs from 2010 to all the way up to late 2014, and I just stopped. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. And there is reasons why. Now, what is SEO? In a nutshell, it's basically a tactic that is used to push your website, or in this case my videos, to the top of a given search result. Now, the one thing to keep in mind, and this is where a lot of people get in a bad situation, a lot of people, and when I was hired, I ended up telling all the people who hired me this, so they knew exactly what they're getting into. And a lot of them told me thank you after I said it. But SEO, search engine optimization, is not long-term views. Again, it's not long-term views. Say it with me. It's not long-term views. What does that mean? SEO, let's say that you have a company that sells red balloons. Well, if you hired me, or hired someone, or done it yourself, what SEO, the job itself, would have done is try to make the word balloon, red round thing, red balloon, or something around that point, and obviously it's red balloon, but have that going towards the first page of popular search engines, including Google, Yahoo, Bing, and others. And this is very, very important, and nearly all of them focus on Google. But this is very, very important, because if you're not within the first 2 pages, you really are lost. And the one thing that a lot of people, or at least a lot of customers, didn't understand, and a lot of people who's going into this work doesn't understand, is there's a lot of people competing for this position. So websites going for the first or second page. And while I was able to get some websites that appeared as the first listing without even paying Google, just the first listing, because I was that good, up to the 3rd or even 5th listing, I can guarantee you that you have so many websites competing for whatever it is that you're working on, that you should never expect to be number 1. You should never expect or 5. You should expect to be on the first page or the second page. That's it. In fact, if a employer wanted me to do something as number 1 or 2, I laughed in their face, and I've done that before, and I said no. And I was able to do it because I was one of the best. Now, I've seen some SEOs guarantee that they will stay wherever position for a year. Someone tells you that, walk away. They're lying. And in fact, now if they tell you 6 months, they're lying. The reason why, and we'll get into this in a second or two, but the reason why, and let me pull this one up, is SEO work is dynamic. The rules are dynamic. It's not so much the searching, it's the rules. Basically, Google, Bing, and others, in order to make sure their search engines are not going static, to make sure that new things are always showing up, to make sure that everyone has quote-unquote fairness, content, whatever that means, they change the rules. So in some cases, if your website is 2 hours old, then it won't even show up on the first page. If your thing hadn't got so many views, then it won't even show up. They could add those rules. I'm not saying that they are. Again, I've been out of it for a little while, but long enough to say I don't even care enough to really dive that deep into the rules, because they changed that much. We're talking about like a monthly basis. They changed it to something else. In fact, that was like 90% of the work, finding the rules. But those little things can make it where you're from the first page to the 10th. So don't ever guarantee that you're going to keep someone there on the first page on anything for over a certain amount of time. It's just not going to happen. So with this, what are you looking at? Well, basically this is used to, well, do their job. So as I said before, one thing that a lot of people, companies try to strive for is be the top on Google. They don't care about Bing, they don't care about Yahoo, they don't care about whatever, they care about Google and only Google. Now with this, keep in mind Google owns YouTube, and Google is the first biggest search engine out there. YouTube's the second. So if you're doing this for videos, then you might want to focus on both Google and YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, focus on both. So with that one in mind, how do you use this? Well, I already got some up. In fact, let's click. What you need to do is go to search, and this is the Google side. Let's go to YouTube real quick. And if you're into that, then go for that too. But let's go into search, and what do we see here? Well, right here in the white, the big text, that's what's searched. So in fact, if you click it, there you go. Ta-da. So with that, what would you use out here? Well, first things first is the search numbers. So you can see how many people have searched for it within the past 24 hours. In this case, you can extend the amount of time and even change the place, whereas this is only in the United States. And then below that, on some of them, you'll have related searches, and that will tell you what, if say for example, if number 2, I'm doing an article on a website, or I'm working for a company that has an article about that subject. What I will want to do is make sure the bold text is in the keywords, and plus anything in the related search area is in the keywords. There's just no question about that. And I would go on from that. I'll use whatever's in the bold text and break it down. Even if it's acronym, then break it down to whatever it stands for. So that's very important. And if you go down, you can go more and more and see what people are searching for. And right here, you notice that it may not relate to your own business. So that's a very, very important thing to note, is all these are usually entertainment or some current event that's going on. And most people aren't searching for big red balloons. They aren't searching for, I don't know, whatever. They're usually searching for something in the entertainment section. So find something in the entertainment sections. Oh, we got Legos. So how can we correlate red balloons to Legos? Well, I don't know, do something red Legos. Something. And yeah, that is a little bit dishonest, but you got to do something like that. Otherwise, you ain't getting up there. Now, of course, you don't want to do a flat out everything on a list, because what's going to happen is Google's going to figure that one out pretty quickly. Like, no, this ain't going to happen any further. And they will mark the site to actually go down in search rating pretty quickly. So let's go to YouTube. And no matter which one you're going to use, you need to check out both YouTube and Google, because they go hand in hand. But you can go in the search, and this goes into really the actual video. So what you see here is what is the most trending video. Obviously, we have stuff that appears over and over, and you can see the actual amount of global views. But what you can do is see, let's try to go down to something that's actually worthwhile. Thought so. I don't know. So right here, Minecraft. That's apparently trending, and I don't know what Quest for Chef is, but so look at that and see if you could mimic aspects of that and do Quest for Chef on your own thing. Obviously, that's a bad example. So right here, Nintendo XDS. So something like that, you can do Nintendo XDS, reveal Nintendo XDS, I don't know, surprise, reaction, whatever in the title itself. So it uses the keyword within title. And then what happens is in the actual keyword section on YouTube, you can use Nintendo XDS, Nintendo XDS, E3 2015, 2015, you know, that about, and that will help you out a little bit. But keep in mind, this is not a guarantee on you getting views. Either one of these are not guarantees that you're going to get views, especially on YouTube. How YouTube works is a little bit more uniquer than actual Google. What Google does is it uses crawlers to figure out how many people are viewing sites. Unfortunately, it doesn't really distinguish bots from real people. Fortunately, on one hand, it thinks those are real people half the time, so therefore it says, oh, this is a popular site. On the other hand, it's 90% of the time it's bots, and your advertisements can tell. Well, with this on YouTube, they have a better understanding, but even more so if there is no interaction, comments, likes, dislikes, people watching it over a certain amount of time, depending on the length of the video, the subscriptions per video, like on the video itself, things of that nature, then what's going to end up happening is YouTube's going to be like, well, this ain't being seen or interacted with much. Let's knock this down and let others that are being interacted more go towards the top of the charts. And unfortunately, if someone's really high on the charts already, you're not going to get there. That's one of the bigger problems on YouTube itself, is they don't really allow for growth. So that's one thing you gotta keep in mind. So as far as that goes, what should you do with these terms? Again, use the keywords and put them in the right places, but also use keywords in the title and the articles themselves. So on YouTube, put it in descriptions, it's not guaranteed there, but on websites, it pretty much is. You put it in the title itself. You put it in the keyword section itself if it has a keyword section. You put it in the actual article itself. And you put it on the website itself. So say, for example, I want to do a story on this. Would I always CP in the title, in the keyword, in the story, in somewhere else on the website? Or the better yet, and I've actually personally done this and seen it work, where you post an article and then you can add most recent articles, and because it has that in the actual title, on the article itself. And plus, since it's already on the title, you got a most recent post, most recent articles. It's there also, so that's 2. Then you got 3 for the keyword, or how many you choose to do on the keyword. And then you got on the article itself, and so on. And keep in mind, you don't want to do a repeat of the title, a repeat in the article over and over and over and over. Especially rules back in 2012, it was like 16 times, and then Google will actually start knocking you off. So you had it like over 16 times, then Google will actually mark you lower on the searches, and that's an overall 16. There was another time where 12 on an article, 2 on the title. It was stupid. It was mixture. Again, that's why I mean the rules change a bit. So keep that one in mind also as you're doing this. But that's where you will use it, and that's where you will need it. Now, as far as other things, what you could also use is older information, like 2014, all the stuff, and what people actually search for, because chances are people will go on and search for that even to this year. So whatever they searched for last year, they're going to search for some of that this year. Not as much, but still enough to keep that one in mind. But with that in mind, that's pretty much about it when it comes to SEO work. I know this was a complicated topic, but as I said, this is not repeat business. You get someone to look at your stuff 5 times, 5 different things, 5 times in a very short amount of time, you got a customer. If you can't do that, you don't have a customer. It's just some fact of life. So keep that in mind when someone says, oh, you need to do better keywords. Yeah, take as well repeat business. So as far as that goes, if you do have any questions, go ahead and leave that below, and I'll try to answer as quickly as possible. But if you want to add anything in here, then also leave that down below. But if you like this, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share, and feel free to check out the other videos and follow us on Twitter so you know when new videos come out. But if you don't like this, go ahead and leave a dislike and tell me why so I can fix it in future videos. But again, this has been Craig Bennett, founder and owner of TechBeast, and hope you have a great day.